Hi, everybody. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds or a minute or so to see who's going to join us. It is day 9 of the Femininity Challenge, which is super exciting. We are almost done with this challenge, and then we're going to move into other discussions. I'm going to be ramping up the community a lot and talking about just some things that I see just happening with women in the world, and just in regards to style, self-esteem, just being able to progress in the world in the way that we desire. So I have a lot of conversations that I want to start having in the community. It took me a while to get into the groove of it because, I have a number of things that I'm doing and that I'm working on, but I am so thrilled to have this community. So yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to post in Facebook and post everywhere just to make sure everybody knows that I am live for day 9 of the Femininity Challenge. Okay, so today we're going to talk about femininity in the workplace. I'm laughing because now I'm an entrepreneur, but for many years I was a working professional. And there are some things that I learned along the way from my own story, from other people that I know. I have a number of friends who are highly successful in corporate environments, in leadership roles. So not only have I been a working professional and worked for different companies, I know a lot of women who are successful who, I watch them and we've had conversations. And so there are a couple of things that I want to talk about in regards to walking in our femininity when we're talking about in our careers, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you are someone who works in a professional capacity, or whether you're transitioning with your job and you're not quite there yet. You are trying to level up in your career. Maybe you're going to go back to school, get some certifications, or maybe you're just in a position where you are waiting to get that promotion. All right, so let's start with the most basic level, which is how you look. Here's the thing. A lot of women just do not understand that there's a certain way you have to look on a professional job, and there's a certain way you can look when you're an entrepreneur. Depending on what type of entrepreneur you are, there's a certain way you can look if you work for yourself. There's a certain way you can look if you're a makeup artist as opposed to a consultant, okay? They're just different. It's different from being a makeup artist or painter or creative or an artist than from being someone who's an educator or who works in a corporate environment or who works in an office. There's just a different way that you have to carry yourself because people are always prejudging us. And I won't even make it a racial thing. A lot of people like to always bring up race, but there are a lot of people who overcome those barriers. So I don't tend to try to make race a scapegoat for why it's harder, but race can be an issue if you are doing things to make race an issue. So let me start with there. Coming from someone who has natural hair, this is something that I have personally struggled with, always making sure that my natural hair is groomed, meaning it's not all over my head. I'm not wearing some faux hawk to work. Some people just don't understand there's a time and a place for everything, okay? There's a time to be trendy with your hair or to have fun with your hair, with hair colors, to wear blue hair, pink hair, when you're going out with your girls, when you're having fun. But if you are working in an environment where people don't look like that, then you should not do that. And only losers will tell you to go against the grain. Believe me, I am someone who goes against the grain. If any of you have been following me, you know I am someone who goes against the grain, but I don't go against the grain in a way that's going to make me a loser, okay? I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm more free. I can be more free with my style. I can be more free with my communication, with the way I communicate with the world. But still, I'm always going to hold myself to a very high standard. I'm always going to be classy, okay? And if I'm not being classy, I'm going to check myself and be like, wait a minute. This is not who you are supposed to be. This is not who God created you to be. And you're tripping, Kim. Get your life, get yourself together. I do that daily because there are many times where I want to go off, curse people out, whatever. But when you work in a professional environment, when you have clients, depending on, you have to look at who your clients are. Look at who your customer is. Look around at the people that you work with. You should look the best as far as style. You should stand out because of your awesome look. If you wear a uniform, that uniform should be pressed and fit your body to the T. If you got to take your scrubs, if you're a nurse, if you got to take your scrubs and get them tailored for you, you should look great. Whenever you go to work, you should look great. If your work environment requires a natural look, natural nails, natural makeup, wear natural makeup, natural nails. Going to the topic of nails. You see, I'm having a little fun with my color. This is cute for the weekend. If you work in a professional environment with people who are going to pay you money to do professional things, this is not a color I'll be wearing to work. Autumn designs and rhinestones and stripes and leopard print, and it looks ghetto, okay? It looks ghetto. If you your nails need to be natural looking and at a normal length. They don't need to have all these weird shapes. You know, sometimes I've never had stiletto nails, but I've had almond shape. That could be cute. You could do square shape. You could do an oval shape, but just make sure they ain't this long if you work a professional job. Because if you work a professional job and your nails is this long, ain't nobody about to take you seriously. Okay, I know some people slip through the cracks. I do. I've seen some managers and I said to myself, honey, how did you get this role? But you're never going to elevate to vice president or, you know, maybe a leader over a number of companies. You have to think about yourself far ahead, where you want to go. If you're not in a managerial position and maybe you want to go into a managerial position, or even if you're an entrepreneur and you want people to take you seriously, like you sell services, you know, you're a consultant or you run some type of business, you don't want to dress in a way that's going to distract people. And long nails with all these designs on them is a distraction when you have a professional job where you work with professionals. Look at your clients. Do they look like that? Look at the people who are successful in your niche. Do they dress like that or look like that? So that should be the question that you ask yourself. Do I look like the person I admire? Whoever your mentor is in your, you know, in your profession, because we all have different professions and we all have different jobs. But look and say to yourself, do I look like the person who I aspire to be? And if you do not, then you need to check yourself. Yeah, you do see a lot of unprofessional dress in like fast food with managers and stuff. But like, listen, a person that's going somewhere is going to pull themselves together and make sure they look like $1 million bucks. Even if you don't have no money, you do what you have to do to look clean, polished, and put together. Okay, so going back to the hair thing, as someone who's natural, and natural women, we have it the hardest with this situation, because when you are natural, a lot of people don't think natural hair is professional. And, you know, even though we've had this whole natural hair wave, don't be deceived and don't be fooled to think that everybody looks at natural hair as professional. You may be in an environment where people don't think natural hair is professional and they might not take you as serious as they might take someone else. But ways to get around it. Make sure your hair is clean. If you do wear your hair out, Do a twist out. Don't do all these weird braided up styles. They look good. They look great. Do that for when you go into a concert, when you with your bae on the weekend, when you on vacation. Save your fun, wild, extravagant styles for when it's time to relax. Don't wear that crap to work because people are going to be like, it's distracting. You want your work and your look to be something that people respect. You don't want people to be looking, oh, how'd you get your hair like that? And it's like, ain't nobody got time for that, okay? So if you're not somebody who wears a weave or something like that, maybe you do want to invest in some wigs. You know, if I can't wear wigs, I can't wear weave and I can't wear wigs. I can wear crochet braids because I can still touch my scalp. But personally, I can't wear none of that. If I can't touch my scalp, I can't do it. I can't. But if you're somebody who can, you know, you can change up your style with weaves, wigs, whatever works for you, okay? Just make sure it's neat, it's polished. And if you're going to wear a wig or a weave, this is what I don't understand about a lot of women who wear wigs and weaves. When you're working professional, it needs to look like your hair, okay? Now, if you just quee, you know, you don't care. If your hair is pink or if it's turquoise, we know it's not your hair. But when you're going into work, try to buy some quality wigs. You know, they shouldn't be shiny. Your hair shouldn't all be shiny and looking plastered to your head. Another thing is hair color. Hair color is fun. I know we like to be blonde and you know, be a brunette and red, but keep in mind when you wear those hair colors, that may make you look like you are not professional or like you are together. So look around in your environment, know where you work. Okay, if people are wearing wild hair colors, if you're a stylist, yeah, a redhead, be a redhead. But if you're a secretary in an office, I don't think you need to wear red hair. It's only going to make you look ghetto. Okay, we're not celebrities. I know everybody looks at Beyonce and those long locks, that long blonde wig, and they think they can go buy them, you know, a wig, or they look at, you know, Kelly Rowland or all these stars who wear wigs and these long weaves, or, you know, Nicki Minaj. We are not these people. We are regular people. And so when you have a professional job, try to keep all them wild hair colors down to a minimal, especially if you're someone trying to climb the corporate ladder or someone who's trying to get a promotion or be taken seriously with clients who pay serious money, okay? So I just want to put that out there. And don't be offended by anything that I'm saying. This is not personal. This is for those women who really are trying to elevate in their careers. Unfortunately, we live in a world that is full of biases. So we have to do whatever it takes to not have biases against us. Let's talk about braids. Braids may not be looked at as professional in some environments. You know, I wear braids and I wear twists. But in some environments, you know, it may not be looked at as professional, depending on what your job is. Now, how I would get around this is keep the braids small. Don't go with them dookie braids. If you're going to wear braids in a professional work environment, make sure they're smaller, okay? They don't need to be, don't do cornrows, don't do dookie braids, don't do none of that. Just keep them small, neat, and dainty. And maybe wear your hair up in a bun, or, you know, you can even wear it down in a cute style, but just always keep your hair very neat. You always look more feminine with softer styles, curls, twist outs, nothing where you have to use a lot of gel, okay? Unless you're wearing a bun or something like that. You know, all these little styles that, you know, women like to wear sometimes. Keep your hair simple. Just keep it simple, clean, neat, and classy. And keep your trendy, fun stuff on your own time if you have a professional job. When it comes to dress, invest in good bras and panties and shapewear. And I don't mean like Spanx. Like, there are many brands who have just supportive panties. You know, they're not like Spanx, but they just suck you in a little bit. Camisoles. I know people don't wear slips. That's like a thing of the past. But make sure when you're going to work, people cannot see your underwear, okay? They can't see your bra. Your panty line is not showing. You're wearing clothing that's too tight and inappropriate. We're not going to the club, you guys. We're going to work, okay? If you're going out to a nightclub or on a date with your significant other, okay, yeah, you can have a little fun, wear your little cute tight dress, whatever. But this is not what we're trying to do in the workplace, because people are going to prejudge you. How low cut your tops are. I should not see your breast at work, okay? I should not see your crease. I should not see them jiggling. None of that. That's inappropriate at any work environment. I don't know, unless you're a stripper, okay? So unless your profession is stripping, no one should see your crease or your breasts at work. No one's going to take you seriously. They're just going to be looking at your breasts, especially the men. The men going to be looking at your breasts, looking at your butt. If you're wearing things that are too tight, that's not what you're there to do, okay? That's not what you're there to do. So make sure that you dress appropriately. You have your own little flair with your style, but make sure that it's professional. If you work in a professional environment, if you wear a uniform, like I said, or your environment is more casual, still don't come to work in a sweatshirt, okay? If you work in an environment where it's business casual or casual and you can wear jeans, throw on a blazer every now and then. Throw on a nice top and a pair of pumps. Take a little pride in yourself and your outfit. Just because you can wear super casual clothes to work doesn't mean that you should, okay? You can, but just make sure that it's feminine. You look like a lady. You look like you put some effort into your look when you go to work. Makeup. Okay. This is too much makeup for a professional job. Okay. Look at what I'm wearing. I'm wearing lashes. I got on this little eye look here. I got on all this jewelry. This is too much for a professional work environment. For a professional work environment, you should be wearing small little studs, or you can wear hoops, but very small. Keep it simple, because then your outfit is going to become distracting and people are going to be like, she sure doesn't know how to dress professional. Look at that makeup. Look at those lashes. And they're going to be laughing at you behind your back in the corner somewhere. So don't be so dramatic. If you wear eye makeup and you're good with eye makeup, just do a little shimmery lid or a brown in your crease, or just do a brown in your crease or something. Use neutral tone colors for work, okay? Unless you're a makeup artist. Like, this is not for people who have creative jobs or entrepreneurs. You could be a little more wild with your makeup and your hair and all of that. But for those of us who have, that 9 to 5, don't come in there with blue eyeshadow and green eyeshadow. It's ghetto. You're not gonna look professional, okay? You're gonna look like somebody who doesn't understand how to wear makeup for professional work environments, okay? Now, when you go out to the movies, you go out with your girls, pile your makeup on, honey. Contour your nose, put 5 different shadows on, do whatever you want. But for work, keep it simple and basic, okay? For your shoes, listen, when it's time to let your shoes go, let them go. Don't wear run over shoes to work. Don't wear dirty shoes to work. Make sure you look polished. Even if you have a uniform, your shoes should be clean, okay? Your uniform should be ironed. Take pride in your look. That's how you elevate your mentality and you elevate your life, okay? And I think that's it about style, makeup, and hair, okay? All right, let's move into personality at work. Let me see what y'all are saying. Miss Sean says, I work at a grocery store. What would you suggest? We have to wear the store t-shirt, but bottoms are optional, or you can wear a smock. Okay, yeah, so you have a very casual job. Just make sure that the store t-shirt is ironed. It doesn't have stains on it. Just keep it like that. And bottoms, wear what you want. If you could wear jeans, or just make sure that it's neat. And if you want to wear a smock, wear the little smock. Just make sure the smock is neat. It doesn't have stains on it. And you just look pulled together, okay? Because it doesn't matter where you work. It just matters how you carry yourself. So just stay neat. You know, you could pair that t-shirt with jeans. I wouldn't wear, I mean, I know some people like sweatpants, but I think sweatpants is kind of, I don't know, it's getting like, I don't care, I just come here because I just need a check type of thing. So unless the sweatpants look very good on you, you can wear like knit pants and things like that, but just make sure that they look neat on your body. Okay, that's it. And you should be fine. Okay, moving right along, personality. Now, this is something that I really want to talk about with you guys because this is something that I feel has hindered me in life tremendously and something that I had to learn the hard way about your personality. I have a great personality. Okay, I do. I'm funny, I'm charismatic, I'm loving, I'm kind, I'm all of these things. But I'm very no nonsense. And when you're no nonsense, you can develop a kind of air about you that's negative. You don't mean to be negative, but you'll come off kind of negative. And let me tell you, the number one thing you want to do in the workplace is build a positive rapport around your personality and how you interact with people, even people that get on your nerves. You do not need to show them your true personality. This is not your family. This is not your husband. This is not your boyfriend. It's not your best friend. You do something that's called act when you're in work. Don't ever engage in an argument with another employee. Don't ever engage in a back and forth because you look unprofessional. And then when the boss comes in and he sees or she sees that you have to be somebody that needs to be micromanaged, then they won't consider you for that promotion or for that raise because they're going to say, this person does not know how to conduct themselves in the workplace. It's not feminine. It's very masculine. So when someone says something inappropriate to you, I have told y'all this strategy, but you need to say, what did you say? And smile. What did you say? See if they repeat it. If they don't repeat it, just move on, okay? If they repeat it, you know, you can say something like, wow, you know, that's very disrespectful. I didn't know you felt that way about me, you know, or you got to learn how to be quirky with your responses, okay? And not engage in a back and forth. Because let me tell you, arguing in the workplace, that's not going to get you anywhere, but a negative name, okay? Second thing, control your emotions in the workplace. When people make you mad, when you don't like what the boss is doing, control your emotions. Because let me tell you, I've had to learn the hard way that most jobs are going to have people that try you, okay? I don't care where you work, what profession you in, it doesn't matter. And we have to learn how to control our emotions. Maybe you need to count to 5 or 7 before you speak back, okay? Maybe you need to just stop listening to the person for a second, talk to yourself and say, oh, you're getting angry. I know it sounds crazy, but some of us are crazy. So sometimes we have to talk to ourselves so we don't act out. You might have to just stop for a second and be like, okay, Kim, don't say anything. Okay, and then come back. Because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you look like an aggressive person, an angry person, a negative worker. You don't want to look like that. So whenever you're interacting with your boss or, you know, other employees or other coworkers, you just need to try to remain calm. That's the biggest thing. You can say whatever you need to say in a calm heart, but you always want to make sure you speak in a very calm, consistent tone and that you respect people, even people you don't like. And this is difficult. We have to respect people who are different from us or for people who really try to make problems for us, because in the end, those people that try to make problems for you, sometimes they just end up falling on their own sword, okay? They will end up hurting their own self. So sometimes we don't even need to engage in the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Be the overachiever in your job. It doesn't matter what your job is. If you're in entrepreneurship, if you're a consultant, if you work for a 500 Fortune company, if you're in a leadership role or whether you're in a subordinate role, always be that person that goes the extra mile. I'm reading a book right now called, and I'm going to put the link to the book in the group because I really think it is a great, I really think it's a great book for all of you to read. If you have, not even if you have self-esteem issues, if you just want to improve your life and your mindset and, you know, be very positive about yourself, I think it's called The Magic of Thinking Big. Okay, that's what this book is called. And I'm currently listening to this book on audio. And the book talks about how you should always go the extra mile. Always. Because when you go the extra mile and you do favors for people or you help people out, then they're going to owe you, okay? They're going to owe you. They're going to owe you a favor, and then you can go back to that person when you need something or when you need backing up and say, hey, you know, can you have a good, oh, I'll finish it up for you. Yeah, I'll do that for you. Or not be used. I'm not talking about being used, because y'all know I'm not going to let nobody use me. I'm talking about showing people, important people, people who are good people, that, you know, I'm a team player. I'm here, you know, to work and to help anyone on my team or to help my coworkers. You know, I'm a team player. It's very important to be a team player. And when I look back on my life, a lot of my failures came from not being a team player. And it wasn't a deliberate thing. It was a thing where I just had a chip on my shoulder. You know, life does that to you. Life will give you a little chip on your shoulder, and then you won't even know it, but you'll be self-destructive. And so I just had a chip on my shoulder, you know. Sometimes I just didn't want to be a team player, whether it was because I didn't like the job, or I didn't like my boss, or I didn't like the situation, or I didn't like what they were asking me to do. I had a little chip on my shoulder, but you know what? It didn't help me. It didn't, acting out in ways where I thought I was being right, that didn't help me. So in a lot of cases, it's better just to be calm, not fake, but calm, and not always being reactive to everything. And being a team player is important, you know, showing up to work on time, leaving when you're supposed to leave and not earlier. You know, showing your boss or your supervisor that you enjoy your job, even if you don't. Just pretend. They don't need to know you don't enjoy your job. That's something that you can have a conversation with God, okay? Or when you get home, you can talk to your spouse about how much you hate your job. But that's not a conversation that you need to have with your boss, with other coworkers. Like, no, don't do it. And that's another thing about using our femininity. Using your femininity will help you be more softer, but still being firm and standing up for yourself if you need to stand up for yourself. And using your femininity will help people like you better. You know, they will just like you more because you'll be personable. You'll be that person that's smiling, saying good morning. That was the thing that I, you know, didn't do. Like, I wasn't a morning person. So a lot of times I would go into work and I would just be tired. It wasn't a thing where I didn't want to speak to everyone, but it was just, I hate that whole, oh, good morning, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I hate it, y'all. I hate it so much. But that's important because people like to be acknowledged. And when you acknowledge people, they like you better, okay? The more people like you in the workplace, the more your boss likes you, the better off you'll be. And that's just the truth. That's why people want to be entrepreneurs. Why do you think people want to be entrepreneurs? Because they know essentially we have no control when we work for someone else. We're at the mercy of our clients. We're at the mercy of our supervisor. It's just best to get into anything that's too crazy. And if you do work in a toxic work environment, you need to know that when you are truly walking in your feminine power, you love yourself despite your flaws. You love yourself despite all your problems. You love yourself despite your situation. Then you'll be able to move on to another job. I don't believe there's a scarcity in jobs. That's a weak kind of way to think about life. That's a negative way to think about your life. You have to know that whatever you do, you are talented enough, you are smart enough, you are strong enough to get a job that you enjoy. And if you are being mistreated in the workplace, make plans and leave. Don't ever stay in a position where you're being abused or where you're being mistreated. Make a plan. Now, you can't just wake up and quit now because everybody got bills, but start making a plan when you realize this is not the place for me. I don't enjoy this, okay? I'm trying to see what else have I learned about femininity from my smart friends and people in my life. Yeah, work hard, be a team player, do favors for people so that you can ask them for favors. Conflict. When there's conflict, stay away from it. If it doesn't involve you, stay out of it. Don't talk about it. Don't gossip. Don't do it, because let me tell you, people will backstab you and they'll turn on you and they'll say, well, she said. You don't need that in the workplace. You're there to work and get a check. You're not there to gossip. You're not there to be the popular. You want to be well liked, but you're not there to try to be the life of the party. You're there to show that you're competent, you do your job well, and you are an asset. You're an asset to whatever you do, whatever your career is. You are an asset to the team. And so that's why it's so important to be a team player. When you do have an issue, like a conflict or something, and you need to go to your boss or you need to go to your supervisor and speak to them, make sure that you always speak to them with respect. Even if you feel like they don't deserve respect, still speak to them with respect. Because let me tell you, a supervisor or a boss can make your life a living hell, especially if you need that job. So don't put yourself in a position where you disrespect the supervisor or the boss, and now you can't even come to him or her and say, hey, I need this or whatever. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's better to just be like, yeah. Okay, so you can't do that, or I can't do that. Okay, and then go home and look for another job so that you can leave with a good reference. Because let me tell you, references are everything, you guys. References and people requesting you, that's how people get jobs. People think like, and I'm talking about more top tier jobs. People think like you just get the job from your education or how great you are, how skilled you are. But a lot of things people recommend other people for. You know, it's like a little network. So unless your boss is cussing you out, jumping on your back, which I don't think any boss would ever do, I hope, just stay calm when you're talking to them and try to reason with them. And I think most people are reasonable and you can work with most people. But the main thing is not coming out of character, not allowing people to draw you out of your character. And I feel like I missed the mark on that sometimes. And that's why I had it hard a lot in the workplace, because I was so opinionated and I was so aggressive and I was so, you know, whatever, but it didn't benefit me in the end. So that's why I'm trying to tell you that it just doesn't work the way you want it to work. So always, you know, show respect to everyone, your coworkers, your supervisor. Just show respect to everyone, and then people will look at you as a respectable person. Don't get caught up in these little work cliques. Don't get caught up in the work office gossip. Come to work on time. Don't try to skip out early. Do the right thing. And even if that job does not do right by you, let me tell you, God will still bless you. He will still bless you. He will help you find another job. He will make your enemy a footstool for you, okay? Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel discouraged when life seems like it's all crushing down on you, because I've been there, like when it feels like, okay, what other thing is going to go wrong today? Don't let life overtake you, because it's not over till it's over, okay? So I think that's all I wanted to say. Obviously, this is not an extensive course, and I feel like I may do some in the future, some extensive trainings on different ways to control your anger and things that I've learned about my personality of how to control myself, because it's tough. It's tough when you are kind of masculine in that way. And I'm definitely more masculine when it comes to my personality. I'm outspoken, I want to have a good time. I'm animated, and it's okay to be all of that. But sometimes we have to pull out our feminine side, our soft side, our understanding side, more so than that masculine side, because it's not going to benefit us. Oh, I want to talk about sexual harassment in the workplace as well. There have been times I feel in the workplace where supervisors and coworkers have said things about my looks that were a little like, okay, I don't think you should say that. I think keep human resources out of an issue like that as much as possible. People think that human resources are there to support them, and I know that's like the idea, but human resources is really there to protect the company and not you, the employee. I know that's the story, like they're going to protect you, but a lot of times they don't. And the problem just gets worse, and then it gets messy, and then you're drawn into it. So unless a person actually touches your body, touches your breast, touches your butt, touches your waist, stand up for yourself and don't bring human resources into it unless you have to. When I felt someone said it is something, I just said, I don't know. I don't think that's appropriate, and walk away. I don't think we have to report every little thing that people say, because you're just creating more problems for yourself. Create a problem or address a problem when it's really a problem, when someone's touching you, if someone's harassing you every single day. That's when you kind of bring human resources into the workplace, but try to keep human resources out of your life, because a lot of times it just leads to you not being asked back, or they make up some other reason to fire you. I've seen that too. So if somebody just says something to you, handle it yourself like a woman with dignity and class, and document it. Document everything. That's another thing. Don't use your mouth, use your documentation. That's what feminine women do who are powerful. We don't just use our mouth. We have documentation. We have proof. We have evidence. Document everything. If your boss says anything inappropriate to you, if a coworker says something inappropriate to you, write it down, the time, the date, and verbatim what was said. So that if something comes up where you're having problems in the workplace, you pull out your documentation. Let me tell you, honey, when you pull out documentation in the workplace, people start caring. So you can stay a lady. You can stay feminine, because honestly, when people like you, when they see you can stand up for yourself and you're a good person, people will do favors for you. Your boss will pick you to go on that trip or that conference. He'll let you come in late one day without docking you because they like you. The more you're liked on your job, the more you can get away with. The more you're liked on your job by the higher ups and by your coworkers, the more you could get away with, okay? And that's what we want. We want preferential treatment if we can get it. We want to be treated well. And when you conduct yourself in a very feminine manner, I think you get ahead more than being super masculine and aggressive and dominant, okay? Now, if you're in a leadership role, you still can be dominant and still can be a leader, but you should always be a composed lady. If you have to reprimand someone, if you have to correct someone's behavior, if you have to address an issue, there is still a way to address it without coming out of your character and getting unprofessional. That's what being a classy, feminine lady is all about. You know, we're bosses, we are decision makers, but you don't have to come out of your character to do your job, okay? You can still do your job. You can still be assertive, no nonsense, but just don't come out of your character like they do in the movies, okay? And I think that's it, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me for day 9 of the Femininity Challenge. We have one more day left, so I'm probably going to come and bring that to you probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, because I'm going back to the United States and I need to pack. And I'm super busy. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow with the last day to recap the challenge and to answer questions. So tomorrow will be a Q&A for you to just come in and answer questions. And I will probably do it around the same time. So I will post that in the group. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for being part of the fashion community. We are leveling up. We are improving our style, our attitudes, our self-esteem, and I have a lot more to share. So yeah, you guys, I'm so excited, and I will see you next time. Bye.